The future of oil and gas law is poised to evolve significantly in response to global energy transitions, technological advancements, environmental pressures, and shifting geopolitical dynamics. While the industry remains a critical component of the global economy, legal frameworks governing it are adapting to balance traditional resource extraction with emerging priorities like sustainability and decarbonization. There are 7 key trends and factors shaping the future of oil and gas law. First is transition to a low-carbon economy. As nations commit to climate goals, such as those outlined in the Paris Agreement, oil and gas law will increasingly intersect with environmental regulations. Governments are introducing policies to reduce reliance on fossil fuels, which could lead to stricter permitting processes, emissions caps, and mandates for carbon capture and storage, CCS. Legal systems may need to address the phasing out fossil fuels. Some regions are contemplating bans or moratoriums on new oil and gas projects, prompting debates over existing lease rights and compensation for operators. The integration of renewables. Laws may evolve to encourage oil and gas companies to diversify into renewable energy, requiring new contractual and regulatory frameworks for hybrid energy projects. Second, environmental and climate litigation. The rise of climate-related lawsuits is reshaping oil and gas law. Activists, communities, and governments are holding companies accountable for environmental damage and greenhouse gas emissions. Future legal developments may include expanded liability. Courts could impose greater responsibility on producers for Scope 3 emissions, challenging traditional boundaries of liability. Judicial oversight. Landmark rulings, like those requiring consideration of downstream emissions in project approvals, may become more common, forcing lawmakers to clarify the scope of environmental impact assessments. Third, technological innovation. Advancements in technology are driving changes in oil and gas law. Legal frameworks will need to regulate new processes, establish standards for emerging technologies, including intellectual property protections and safety regulations. Incentivize adoption. Offer tax credits, subsidies, or streamlined permitting to encourage investment in low-carbon solutions within the industry. Fourth, geopolitical and economic shifts. ICSL's global energy markets are influenced by geopolitical tensions, trade policies, and resource nationalism. Oil and gas law will likely adapt to energy security. Countries may revise laws to prioritize domestic production or secure alternative supply chains, impacting international agreements and investment treaties. Market volatility. Legal mechanisms, such as stabilization clauses in contracts, may become more critical to protect investors amid fluctuating oil prices and policy changes. Fifth, local empowerment and social license. Communities and indigenous groups are gaining more influence over oil and gas operations. Future laws may enhance local control, grant greater authority to municipalities and states to restrict or ban drilling, as seen in recent legislation in places like California, strengthen stakeholder rights, require more robust consultation processes and equitable benefit-sharing agreements, reflecting a growing emphasis on social justice. Sixth, international law and agreements. The global nature of the oil and gas industry means international law will play a larger role. Key developments could include treaty revisions, withdrawal from treaties like the Energy Charter Treaty, which protects fossil fuel investments, may lead to new frameworks prioritizing green energy. Cross-border disputes. Increased litigation over transboundary resources and emissions responsibilities could necessitate harmonized legal standards. Seventh, continued relevance of hydrocarbons. Despite the push for renewables, oil and gas are expected to remain significant for decades, particularly in hard-to-abate sectors like aviation and petrochemicals. Legal systems will need to balance priorities, craft policies that maximize efficient extraction while minimizing environmental harm, adapt to demand, adjust royalty structures, taxation, and lease terms to reflect changing consumption patterns. In summary, the future of oil and gas law will be defined by its ability to navigate the tension between maintaining a vital industry and responding to urgent climate imperatives. Legal professionals will need to anticipate regulatory shifts, embrace interdisciplinary approaches, and address the diverse needs of stakeholders to ensure the industry's resilience and relevance in a rapidly changing world.